Hello. Today I got a friend's NT USB Rode microphone, and he's got a very dodgy connection on the bottom of it. We're just going to test for that, and yeah, we're going to see if we can fix it. I've ordered some parts. I went to eBay, got what I think is the part that's gone wrong, the USB socket on the bottom. I think there might be some other videos where somebody else has gone inside this, but I'm going to have a go myself, and I'm going to video it as I go along. So if you want to follow me, speed up, stop, pause, go back. I'll try not to go too fast, and I might even see if I can strengthen that USB port, because I have read somewhere that it's quite a common fault. Let's crack on. I think first of all what I'm going to do is just make sure I can see the problem, and I'm going to plug in the USB into my Surface and see if I can replicate the issue. Now there is supposed to be a light on here somewhere, I think. I can see that the cable's already loose in the bottom. That's not a good sign. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see that. There is a blue light inside this microphone which tells me it's on, but if I let go of this wire and I'm bending it ever so slightly to, if you're looking at the front of it, I'm bending it to the right hand side in order to get that light on. I haven't seen it pick anything up on Windows yet, but I'm going to go with it and assume that this port is damaged, and we're going to go and swap that out. First of all, I'm going to put some tape over my pliers, because I'm going to want to pull the knobs off of the side of this. One of them's already pretty much there. There we go, that's one. And it just doesn't damage. It allows me to carefully pull them off. I advise not using metal, because you're going to scratch these ports up. There we go. Leverage that off. Now I believe I can't see any screws in any of these little holes on the bottom, so we can only assume, there we go, that comes off like so. I'm going to get a soldering iron on, I'm going to need that. So it's got a washer there, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that on top of that, keeps it all together. And then this, I'm hoping, just slides over like that. So there's our little circuit board, a tiny little circuit board here, which looks to be plugged in. So we're going to see if we can get that out. I can see there's two screws on this side. This might assist with taking that port out. So we're going to remove that as well. Now this looks quite a simple bit of kit really. Screws, knobs. So it looks quite an easy little thing assembled together here. Now, tiny little circuit board in there that this main board plugs into. So we're going to be careful. We just need to take away the bit at the top. We can unplug that like so. Then our USB board that we need to work on should drop out. So I'm going to leave that now. I don't need to touch this main bit. We're going to put that to the back, and we're going to concentrate on this little bit. Now I have been on eBay and I've bought two parts in case I obviously mess one up. If you type in that Rode microphone model number, you'll see there's, I think it's the first one or one of the first ones that come up on the first page, and that's the one you want to purchase. So here it is. It looks exactly identical. So I'm kind of hoping it's just a case of transferring it over and the damage is inside this port. It doesn't wiggle here, which is why I might add a dab of hot glue at the end of this, because I feel that with a bit of hot glue you've got a bit of additional support and it will prevent it being damaged in the future. I can see there's very small pins going into the back of this, and that could well be part of the problem. The pins are tiny. That's surprising. The port has actually just fallen off. Now I need to remember how this goes back on. What I'm hoping now, I might just clip these off and then desolder them that way. Don't need that anymore. So I could get the new one and start soldering it on. Now, I'm going to make this really easy for myself. I'm going to get a little Sharpie. I'm just going to write, in fact no, just going to make it green. Now there probably is an easy way to remember this, but what I'm doing is indicating that that's green on the board, and that's the right way up. So now I can flip the board over and desolder the pins on the other side without having to worry about knowing how I'm going to get this back on. Because you could be a little bit confused if you put this on the wrong way around. Now, the battery died on the camera. I was just showing you the orientation that you need to solder this onto the board. So if you can imagine that's clipped into the board, like so, and you'll see that there's cutouts on the top, on the back. Not sure if I can get it to focus. There we go, you see it's just cut in the same orientation. Now I have applied a bit of hot glue to the back of this just to give it an additional bit of support. Looks easy enough to just pull out with a pair of pliers, so it's not permanent. I'm just going to slide that back in here. There's no pressure on there's no pressure coming off of, there's no brute force. I'm not using any force here. This just slides into the back. I'm slightly prying out the board. You see I'm lifting the board up a little bit just so that I can slide it in freely. And that should go all the way in, like so. And then this comes into play, and it should line up on the back there, and you see it's clipped in to the back, and that's all solid on there. So what's left to do is put the 2 screws back in here and here. It's easier to get a magnetic screwdriver and do this. And then that winds into the back. I'm going to do this one as well. So it's very easy to just sort of skip these steps and go and test it. I mean, you can right now, but what I want to do is get it pretty much back to its original state, but I'm not going to put the knobs on because they were the most challenging part of getting this whole thing to pieces. Now there is a grub screw there, which I'm not going to tighten up just yet. I'll come back and do that. I just want to get this side on here. Now this is the washer. Just going to pop that on the bottom just to hold it in place so it doesn't move around. And that's on. Now what's left to do is to go and test it. Let's go. Plug the mic in. That's a very solid connection. I've got a blue light on it. That's a good sign. So I'm going to leave that there for a minute. And I'm going to go see if I can get to the microphone area. It is picking up a Rode microphone. Start test. Hello, hello, hello. So I've got the bar going up now, and it does look to be working. I've just downloaded Audacity, and I've opened it, and I can see that my microphone is set to the Rode NT USB, and the speaker is set to the Realtek ones as part of this Surface. So I'm going to hit record. I'm testing the microphone at a distance, and I'm going to bring it nearer to me so that I know that I'm definitely talking into this mic, and it's nice and loud. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Stop that. Testing the microphone at a distance, and I'm going to bring it nearer to me so that I know that I'm definitely talking into this mic, and it's nice and loud. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I've just gone back inside it just to tighten up that grub screw that I mentioned earlier, and yeah, pretty much ready to go back to the owner. He will be pleased. And yeah, it wasn't a very expensive fix. The USB ports were probably about 4-5 quid each, and then it's just a case of knowing how to use a soldering iron. So yeah, great fix.